Customization and the quiet cage. Across long time horizons, the smallest defaults become architecture. The buttons you tap, the notifications you silence, the dashboards you pin. After enough customization, your meetings start to feel like everyone read a different memo, because your screen quietly stops showing you what they see. Personalization becomes a cage when it scales faster than your ability to notice what it excludes, when each more relevant tweak reduces the shared surface area of experience, and the system rewards that narrowing with convenience. A personalized system usually begins as relief. You sort the inbox, tune the alerts, mute the noise, save the favorites. In the short term, the incentive is obvious: less friction. The interface offers you a bargain: fewer irrelevant updates in exchange for more signals it can use to infer what you want next. The feedback loop is simple. You click, the system learns, the next set of options tilts toward what produced engagement, and you click again. But there is an explicit constraint hiding in the design: limited attention. A screen can only show so many cards, a playlist only so many tracks, a dashboard only so many metrics, a calendar only so many meetings. Because attention is scarce, the system must compress the world into a shortlist. Compression is not neutral, it chooses what to ignore. In the short term, the trade-off looks clean: relevance over breadth. You gain speed, you lose a little variety, and it feels manageable. Yet personalization is rarely a single switch. It is many small settings that accumulate. Each one narrows the channel, and the channel becomes the environment. Over the mid-horizon, a second-order effect appears. The absence of difference stops feeling like absence. When the feed is tuned, surprise declines, but so does the visibility of what you are missing. The system does not only shape content, it shapes the baseline for normal. Your sense of what people are discussing, what problems are urgent, what ideas are common, becomes a reflection of what your interface can deliver efficiently. Meanwhile, the incentives inside organizations align with this narrowing. Teams optimize for engagement metrics, response times, completion rates, and smooth workflows. Smoothness becomes a proxy for quality because it is measurable. Across longer horizons, the cage is built from many reasonable decisions. Recommendations make you more predictable. Predictability makes recommendations better. Better recommendations increase reliance. The loop tightens. The system's success condition, keeping you active, satisfied, and on path, can conflict with another success condition you may also value: contact with the unexpected, the disagreeable, the unfamiliar. This is the deeper trade-off: comfort and continuity versus friction and discovery. Shared reality weakens not because people become irrational, but because they become differently informed under different constraints. Two colleagues can review the same project and disagree on what matters because their dashboards highlight different risks. Two friends can speak past each other because their updates arrive from different neighborhoods of information. The cost shows up as coordination overhead: more meetings, more clarifying messages, more approvals, more just-to-align checklists. There is uncertainty here. Not every personalized system produces isolation. Sometimes it surfaces communities, accessibility, and relief from noise. The failure mode is probabilistic, not guaranteed. But the tail risk is clear: a world where each person's stream is optimized for them and therefore poorly suited for building common reference points with others. Choice, in this setting, is not merely the number of options on the screen. It is the governance of constraints. What gets filtered, what gets prioritized, what gets counted as relevant, and what is treated as waste. Responsibility, then, is distributed. Designers encode incentives into menus and defaults. Organizations encode incentives into what they measure and reward. Individuals encode incentives into repeated attention, what they pause on, what they skip, what they return to. When customization becomes a cage, it is rarely experienced as captivity. It is experienced as efficiency, and that is why it can persist. The system permits ease while quietly constraining perspective. Over time, meaning erodes in a subtle way, not through lack of options, but through lack of encounter. If a shared world is partly made of shared references, then personalization can replace "we saw the same thing" with "we each saw something optimized." Governance is part of the system, because the system is already governing attention by default. Hold one act of reflection. Choose a time horizon, weeks, years, or decades, and name a hidden assumption inside your customized stream. Perhaps the assumption is, "what reaches me is what matters," or "if it's important, it will find me," or Convenience has no cost. Then name one risk attached to that assumption, not as a conclusion, but as a live question. What kind of difference, surprise, or shared reference might be getting priced out by your current settings and signals? Customization is powerful because it feels like control, but it often governs by omission. Under uncertainty, humility begins by noticing what the interface makes easy to forget.